Now it's time to delete and undelete users, and for this video I'm going to work with two users. I'm going to delete the GM, which is named testing user 08, and before the deletion happen I will transfer his data to testing user 03. So you will see how the data transfer will look like, and then I will delete testing user 06 without transferring his data. So I will just click delete and I will uncheck all of the boxes, then I will click delete for this account. After this I will restore these two users, and you will see how we can restore the recently deleted users and what are the limitations for this, and if there are any other notes that you need to be aware about. So basically for deleting users we have three ways. We can either go to the actions menu in the user from the user's view. So when we click the menu we'll see an option to delete the account, or you can go to inside the user profile and from there we'll click the same action menu and choose delete. Or if you want to delete multiple users, then you will check the users from the user screen one by one, and the deletion option will appear in the top right. You will just click it and you will be able to then delete the users with or without data transfer. So for this demonstration here I'm going to delete testing user 08, and I'm going to do it from the outside. So I will click the actions menu and I will click delete user, and this is the dialog or the notification that we see for the data transfer before we delete the user account. So it's asking us to transfer three types of data to another user account if we wanted to. The first of these is the drive and docs, and by default only the public files, the shared files, will be transferred to the destination account. If you wanted to transfer the private files, then you have to check this box in here, include files that are not shared with anyone. So this means you will transfer the private files as well. The second type of data is the calendar, and the way the calendar data works is the future events only that are having at least one guest or resource other than the owner of this event. For example, if testing user 08 sent an invitation to another user, to his secretary for example, after for example 1 week, then this event will be transferred to the destination user account. However, if this same user had an event for himself, for example review reports, which is happening also after 1 week, but this one is only for the user, it's not shared with anyone, or no attendees or guests or resources or whatever are included in this event, this one will be deleted and this one will not be transferred. And there is also another case where he had previously a meeting or a conversation with his secretary which happened before 2 weeks for example, or 1 week. Then this one will not be transferred as well, and it will be deleted because this has passed, and the only events that are going to be transferred are the future events that are non-private and that have at least one guest or resource. So let's say that if this event, if the guy or if the user added for example the meeting room to this event, then this event or activity will be transferred to the destination user account. Other than that, the activity or the event will be deleted. You have also the option to release all the calendar resources in the events that are organized by the user. So if this guy for example created a meeting request after 1 week and he included in the resources a meeting room and a projector, then you have the option to release those resources. So maybe the new owner or the destination user who will get this data will review the events, and then if needed he will rebook these resources again. So these are flexibility of options really. You have a lot of options in the calendar and the drive. For the drive file it's really helpful that we have the option to transfer the private files, and for the calendar it's really helpful also that we can get the resources and the future events if we really wanted and if we really cared about the data for this user. Finally, also we can work with the Google Plus pages, or we can transfer the Google Plus pages for this user to another user, and the destination user account also will get those data, and then he will need to work with them if anything needed to be modified. Now there is one big important and one big note on all of this, which is the data for Gmail will not be transferred. And if you care about the Gmail data, then you need to use a migration tool to get the emails moved to another user or destination. Now this has been very confusing, so I got a lot of questions and a lot of confusion about this around me, and a lot of our customers, a lot of the administrators that we have, usually they think that these options will include the email data and the email messages. However, this is not the case. You will need to use a migration tool for this, such as the data migration services or any other migration tool such as GSMME or GSMMO. We'll talk about the data migration services in section 7, I believe, of this course, which is going to be about the advanced management. So I'll leave the talk to data migration services until then. But it's enough to know that the Gmail data will not be transferred, and you need to do separate activities to get those data transferred to another user, or at least downloaded and archived on your system or Google Drive if you wanted to. There is another note which is about the Google Vault. If you are using Google Vault in your organization, if you delete the user, then the Google Vault data will be deleted as well, because the Google Vault is only for the active users. If the user is deleted, then the Google Vault data will be removed. Now, if you wanted to keep the Google Vault data, then you need to suspend the user. This way, you will still have the license for G Suite and for Google Vault enabled for this user, and it means that you have the data still in this account. Now, this is also, I have got a lot of confusion and I have got a lot of questions about it, because they think that the Google Vault is about keeping your data even for the users that you delete. So the Google Vault in G Suite is linked to the user profile or to the user account. If you delete the user, then the Google Vault will be deleted. So it's important that you are aware about this, and this is very critical to know. Now, once you are done on selecting the data types that you want to transfer, you will need to type the username that you want to transfer the data to him, the destination user account. And I'm going to do it for testing user 03. So I will type T user, I will get autocomplete here. So I'm checking the testing user 03, and then I'm going to click delete. Now it's going to show me a notification that the data transfer has been started, and it will notify us once it's completed. You note here also, to ensure the data safety, the account will be suspended before the data transfer, and once the data transfer is complete, the account will be automatically deleted. So if you want to monitor the status of the data transfer, you will have to go to the filters and you will select the data transfer status, and you have to choose one of two options, either in progress or failed. Let's see the data transfer in progress. You see that we don't have anything. Let's see the data transfer failed. I'm not sure if it actually failed or something, but let's check. And it seems that we have the data transfer failed. But let's check the inside of this user account. Now it tells us that this user has two exceptions, and one of them is for the data transfer, the other one is for the suspension. So if you wanted to resume the data transfer, you will just click retry here, and again you will select what you want to transfer of the data, and then you will type the destination user account again, and we'll click delete. So once the data transfer process is done, you will see the user is automatically deleted, and you will find it in the recently deleted filter. But before going there, I just want to show you the other method of deleting the account, or basically deleting the account without doing a data transfer. So simply you will go to the user that you want to delete and select it, delete the account, and you simply uncheck these options in here, and that's it. You'll see the warning that all data associated with these accounts will be deleted. So we are fine. We'll click delete, and that's it. The user has been deleted. Now to find those users, as I mentioned, you'll have to go to the recently deleted. In the recently deleted, you will see now we have, actually we should be having 3 accounts. So let me refresh the page. And there we go, the GM and testing user 06. So all we have to do to restore these accounts is we'll click the restore button in front of each account. And There are important notes about the restore process also that you need to be aware of before you close up this topic. The first point is the retention period, if we can call it like this, for deleted accounts is 20 days. So you can restore accounts that have been deleted before 20 days if a user account was deleted, or if more than 20 days passed from the date of the deletion of this account, then you cannot restore it. And the other point is, after you restore the account, the user will get back all of his data and all of his memberships in the group and all of that. And the final point, if you restore the user, if you undelete the user, it might take some time to show up in the users list again, but at the end it will appear in the users list. And finally, there are also another note about the users that you cannot restore. For example, if you had a user who was deleted, let's say his email was xyz at our domain. So if you delete this user account, then use xyz as an alias to another account, then you cannot restore that old account until you remove this alias from the other accounts or from the other account that you used it on. The same goes for the username also. If you used xyz as a username for another account or for a new account, then you cannot restore the original account until you delete the new account that is having the same username or the same primary email address or secondary email address or alias. And finally, you cannot restore the account also. And finally, which is related to the licenses, you know that when you delete the user, the license will be freed. So you can use this license with a new user account if you wanted to create a new user account. So let's say that you have 20 users in your admin console and you deleted one, so you end up with 19. Let's talk about the same XYZ here. So you created a new user account called ABC at the domain name. After a few days, the management tells you that we need to have that XYZ account again. So you come to your admin console and you see now that you have 20 users. And then you go to the recently deleted users and you try to restore that account, but you will fail because you are at the maximum licenses capacity for your admin console. So you have two options. You can either delete another user account and then use his license to restore XYZ, or you can just purchase a new license for this user account. So these are very important points and notes that I thought I explained to you and talk about them a little bit. Once you are aware about those, then you can go ahead and click continue to restore the user account. And on this screen, you will be selecting the destination organizational unit where you want to recover this account inside. You can just click the root one and click recover, or you can place him in the original OU that he was in. And I think this guy was in the in the CEO office. And we'll click recover. The same we're going to do for testing user 06. We'll click the recover button here. And before I click continue, there is one point that I did not talk about it yet, and I actually wanted to talk about it now, which is the first one, the licenses assigned. So this licenses assigned, you notice it is in the group of the stuff that are not going to be recovered. So it means if the user was having multiple licenses and one of those, or if some or all of those licenses were not auto-assigned by default, then the user will not get those licenses back. And to demonstrate this for you, I have disabled the automatic assignment for the G Suite basic licenses on this admin console, and the only license that will be assigned by default is the device management license, the Android management license, which is free. So I will click continue now, and then we're going to see what is going to happen for this user licenses in his profile. So click continue. And I really forgot where this user was. I'll just put him in the root one. Then we'll click recover. And the user has been recovered. Let's check the user's view, or actually let's just disable the filter from here to see now the license for the testing user 06. So let's go inside this account and let's scroll down to see the licenses. You see he's got only one license, which is the Android management. He did not get the G Suite basic license because I disabled the auto licensing for that, and even though the user was having that license before, he will not get it now after the recovery. you will have to manually go to the licenses management and assign that license for him. We'll talk about licenses management in the coming videos, in the next one I believe, or the one after it. I want to show you also the GM or testing user 08, because when I recovered the testing user 08, I did not have the auto assignment disabled yet. So we'll go inside the user profile. So we'll go to the licenses, and you see he's got 2 licenses assigned, the G Suite Basic and the Android Management license. As I mentioned, the time when I restored this user, I did not disable the G Suite assignment or the auto assignment for the G Suite licenses. So with this, we're going to talk next about the data recovery. Let's assume that one user has deleted a lot of emails by mistake and deleted a lot of files on his Google Drive by mistake, and you want us to recover those files for him, because everybody thinks that IT administrators are supermen. We are super, and we are geniuses and all of that. So until the next video, I hope this was informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.